Good, now we are going to make here this detail. In here we have basically the same form as on this here, so we can just steal that, but on that we have just a rotation going on and some other stuff. So I'm going just to steal his face here, so press Shift D, make a known separation of it, and now you can just take that and put it aside. We are going to deactivate for now the mirror modifier, and I'm just putting it here like that. I want it straight, so we are going to orient on this line here. So let's put one dot, so one vertex on this line, like that. We're going to make that active. Go up here to active element, and now you can just rotate it right away on this x-axis, and you're fairly straight here. Alright, so we have now this detail here. We're going to put that for now here. We're going to extrude that back until this point. Now we're going to take the front, or maybe we are going to take all, so we can just put it in here. Now we can take the front, and basically I just want it going inside of the object. So let's do it like that. We have here this part. We're going to activate on this side the vertex, so maybe going to take the one right on the X here, or on the other side obviously, so we can just make that as active again. Now we can just extrude that, cancel the extrusion, and rotate it on the Z-axis, so you can just make something like that. Or another thing you can do is just to extrude it outside and go inside of the object like that. It's just fairly the same thing. I think I'm going to take it in this way, so you can just keep it like that. Don't worry about the side here, it's not really a problem because it's not showing in the final object. So we're going to make that a little bit smaller. And now we have just to look about here this shading, so select the loop cut, mark it as sharp, so we have a perfect shading. Don't mark this line here and this line here as sharp, so I have only this bent area as a sharp area. Alright, now we're going to take here the front, the back, sorry. We're going to extrude that outside, and we are going to just, scale that. So press S Shift Y to exclude the Y axis, and now we can just scale it like that. We're going to make that a little bit smaller. It's looking good. And I just want it to be, let me think, maybe on the Z axis a little bit smaller. So like that. This here we are going to make it sharp. Now we can just take all and put it back. So this loop cut here, I just want it on the same spot as this here, so just drag it back like that. But we have to keep in mind that we're going to destroy a little bit the shape here. So we're going to make that a little bit bigger. And like that. So we have a problem here with the shading, so maybe we are going just to mark that as sharp too. And now it's looking good. Alright, so done that. I think this here is a little bit too big maybe. So we are going to adjust that for a second. So I'm going to put that inside of that. So take this here and put it back. So I think it would be better if we just align it with the rest here on the front, and this here is going to be on this edge like that. So we have a little bit of difference in here. It's a little bit better if we do that. Alright, done that, we're going to make now a little bit of a detail on top of that. So for that we're going just to, we're going to add here a cylinder. 64 vertices is enough. And oh, we have just to put it in the middle of the world, so just press Shift S, cursor to world origin. Now we can just add here a cylinder. So we're going to put that right into here. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. So if you don't know what exactly it's going to be this here, so I'm going to show you just on my second screen. We have here this thrusters on the back. So actually we have done this here and this here. We have to do this and this here. And this and the thruster here. And for this detail here, for this ring, it's going to be this here. So I don't know if I can show you on another one. So basically it's the same thing as on the front. So this cylinder here is going to be on the back side. So we're going just to copy and paste it then on the back. But for now we're going just to block that out, and for the thruster we're going to do the same thing. Good. So we have to put it right in here, so just for the blocking. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So that's fairly enough. Now we are going to make the other details inside of here. So to do that we are going to steal just one of this side here. So duplicate that. We're going to make a non-separation of it. And I'm going just to put that approx here, but a little bit on the front. So we have a difference in the side. That's totally fine. So then we have to do the same thing on top and on the bottom. So for that I'm going to just make this here maybe a little bit bigger. So like that. I'm going to activate the mirror modifier, but only on the x-axis. I'm going to select all, duplicate that, make a non-separation of it. Now we can take this, going to deactivate that. We're going to rotate it by 90 degrees. And now we can put it right on top here, like that. I'm going to activate the y-axis, but as you can see, nothing is happening. So we have to do maybe another thing. I go back into, so we have to go back into the object view and press here Alt Transform. Maybe it's resolving the issue. Oh, obviously we have to activate the right axis here, but we are good to go now. So same thing here. I'm going to put it a little bit on the front. So we have some variation maybe in here. Let's just see on our reference here. Yes, this is on the front and this here is on the back. So we are right in the, so we have the right shape here. And the other thing I just want to do now is to block out the thruster. So I'm going to add here a cylinder. 62 vertices is fairly enough. Rotate it by 90 degrees. And we're going to put it in here. So for now, just scale it down. Put it in the right place. So one will be here. This will be a bigger one. The other one will be here. So then we have another one. Prox here, I think. Yeah, that's good here. Maybe a little bit inside. Then we have another one here. And the other one here. So keep in mind we are going just to block out if it's jaggy or something like that, or not even. It's not a problem. We are going to do that later on if we are on our high poly modeling. So we need another one here and another one here. That's a little bit smaller. So right that. Alright, we need one big thruster here in the middle. So I'm going to make this as a no separation. I'm going to make this way bigger. So like that. Alright, so we have now to activate our mirror modifier on this here. So go to modifier, generate mirror modifier, and we have to activate the x-axis and the z-axis. So we have all our thruster right in place. Don't worry about this here on the back, that's not a problem. So we are going to make that later on. I'm going to, we have here this problem, so I'm going to just, yeah, we're going to make a node separation of that, and now I can just deactivate the z-axis, so we do not have problem with this here. Alright, the thruster are in place. Now we can just make a little bit more detail on this here. So let's see. I just want, first of all, where is it? Here is it. First of all, I just want here in the middle a loop cut going on. Then we are going to bevel that, so we have a little bit of a border. So we can just select the top and the bottom, and we can just scale it inside, but keep in mind, go to individual origin, and for that you have to exclude the z-axis, so press S Shift Z. Now you can just scale that inside, so we have this nice little form here. Looking good so far. Let's see, we have to do the same thing on this here, so for that I'm going just to select the original one, duplicate that, I'm going to put it here, separate by selection, deactivate the y-axis on the mirror modifier, and now we can just go into the edit mode and put it in the right place. So if you want to be very precise here, make one dot as active. Don't forget to be on vertex snap. Now we can go inside here, press G, Y, Command, and go to this point, and you're right on the spot. That's perfect. I'm going to delete the other one. We don't need that. And here we are good to go. So on the back here, I just want another detail going on, so I can show you. So on the back we have this type of I can't really tell what it is, but we have it in here, so we are going to block that quick. So to do that, first of all, I think we are a little bit too big inside here. So we have to go a little bit down with all the things here. I should say better go a little bit down and up with that. So like that. That's totally fine. So we have a little bit of a border here, a little bit of a space in here. So to do that, we can just do, first of all, let me think, if we just steal one side of that maybe. So I'm going to steal, yeah, we have to steal here this face. I'm going to steal that, that's fine. I'm going to make an own separation of it. So we can just put that face right here. Or maybe the other side would be better. So we have to be very precise on that. That's fine. So I'm going to make that maybe a little bit smaller. So on individual origin. Alright, I'm going to extrude it up until we are going to meet the other one. So activate clipping. Oops. Delete the inner face. And we are good to go here. For now I'm going to just apply the mirror modifier, but I'm going to deactivate the y-axis so we don't have it on the side here. There we don't need that. So apply that. We are going to delete the inner edge here. And now we have a little bit, now we have here some form. I'm going to delete the other side too, so we can just activate for now another mirror modifier with the other side. That's fine. I think we are a little bit off with the faces, so I'm going to just check that, go to face orientation, and yeah, we are off with the face orientation. So here too. So we have to go into the edit mode, select all, press spacebar, recalculate outside. It's totally fine. And here the same thing. And we're good to go. So the rest is looking good. So deactivate it. And now we have just to, let me think, take this face here. So we can just extrude it all the way around, out here, and put it back like that. I don't know if it's working, we have just to figure it out. And this here, it's going to be here. Alright, it's looking kinda okay, I would say. So we're going to close that for now a little bit more. but we're good to go here. So we're going to do the same thing as we have done earlier. We're going to re-add here a loop cut in the middle. We're going to bevel that, so we have this border. And another thing we have to do now, it's going to be a little bit tricky now, because we have here the rest, but we're going to select the upper half, so the upper faces and the faces on the bottom. So let's see, I'm going to isolate it, it would be a little bit better. And let's try, we're going just to scale that inside, but as you can see we have a problem with that. The most part of the object is good, but not all of them. So maybe, let me see. Alright, we have to do it maybe in another way. So I'm going to isolate it again. Oops. So let's try. Let's try. If we just scale that for now. So we're good on this here. So that's the visible part. And for the part here, oops, we have to do it manually. So I'm going to select here the faces, just go a little bit back, and the same thing here. Just try to keep the right amount of border. It's looking a little bit better if we do so. Good, now we have to do another thing. So we have just to select here this face, and first of all we have to insert that. So to insert that you can just press the E button, press escape to cancel the extrusion. Now you can just select the face here, press spacebar, type in merge and take the merge at center. Same thing down here. So that's looking good. Then we have just to select here this edges. So I'm going to select that too. And now we can just bevel that. Not too much. That's fairly enough. I'm going to deselect here the face, and now we can just delete the faces. So we have this, this border here in the middle. So this separation, I'm going to hide that for now, so we can just close it. Alright, I think we are good to go here, so I'm going to select this here, invert the selection with Command E, so we can just close this here. So let's see, here we have some strange bending, but I think we can just leave it like that maybe. Oh, let's see if we just select that and make it straight, would be better. And we have a problem if we do that, okay. So now it's looking better. And for this side here I'm doing, yeah, that's a problem now. If we just close it, let's keep it like that for now. It's an area you can't really see, so it's not really a problem, but we can keep it like that. Alright, done this. I think I'm going to select the parts here. So I'm going to put it a little bit outside. So maybe like that. So it's popping a little bit more outside. So don't worry about that, you can't really see this area. And it's going to be closed with another detail, so it doesn't matter how it's looking here. So the important part is here the front. It's looking a little bit better now. Good. So let's do now another thing. We're going just to block out now the middle part here, so we have to make it maybe a little bit bigger. First of all, you have just to swap this for a second, so I'm going to put that all the way on the bottom. Like that. Now we can select all the stuff here, go into the edit mode, select all. Now I can just drag it a little bit outside. Don't forget to adjust this here. So we can just put that here. And now we can make the middle part. So to do that, it's very easy. Just add a cube here. Go into the edit mode. Put it on the side. Make it a little bit smaller. Like that. We're going to start here. So we take that. Put it here. And we can just make it a little bit smaller too. And on the z-axis. So now we're going to select here this 2. So we can just bevel that. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller by individual, medium point, sorry. So like that. And now we are going to select the whole thing. We're going to duplicate that, put it on the side. So we have 2 of them. We're going to add a mirror modifier. We're going to add a mirror modifier for that. So you can just mirror it on the other side. And we need obviously on the bottom 2. So we are going to activate the y-axis. And here we go with this detail. So the last thing I just want to add here for now is in the middle another detail, so I'm going to add another cube. For that I'm going just to add in the middle loop cut, so you can just delete one side, add a mirror modifier. Where is it? Mirror modifier. We're going to make that all the way bigger. And we're going to make here some kind of triangle, so I'm going to put that right here. We have to make it obviously a little bit smaller, so it's just fitting inside of that. And I think we have to put it right. Yeah, no, I think here it's good. So just make it smaller, put it like that. It's a little bit too small. So we have to adjust for a second these 2 lines here, so make that a little bit bigger. So we can just put that right here. And now I just want to make the same inset here. I'm going to add a loop cut in the middle. So we can just bevel that. Select both sides, so top and bottom. And now we can just, with medium point, individual origin, sorry, scale that with the exclusion of C. But you see, we are going to destroy here the middle, so activate clipping. Do it again, and we're good to go here. Good, that's it. We have to add, obviously, on all sides our mirror modifier. And I'm going just to select all, duplicate that, I'm going to put it here. So we have just to scale it on the y-axis by -1. So we have right the same thing, just looking down, we are good to go. We have just to recalculate our normals, and we are done with this blocking out here. So we have to figure out how we can just make here the front part now, so the command area. The command area is just connected with the rest of the shift with some corridors, so we have to figure out how we can do that. First of all, I'm going just to add, just for blocking out, a cylinder here. 64 vertices is fairly enough. I'm going to put that on the front, rotate it, and just scale it bigger. So roughly the size, we just want to have it on the front here. I think that's a little bit too much, so that's fairly enough compared to the rest of the ship. Good, then we have just to do the same thing as always, shade it smooth, auto smooth. And now we can just make another cylinder here. Oh, just let's duplicate this one here, so we can just steal it. separate by selection, so we have a known separation of it. Make it a little bit smaller because we need a little bit bigger here, so like that. So that's a holding ring, I would say. And this holding ring is going to be on the edge here. I think we're good. Then we need another one. The other one would be here. And up here we are going to connect our ship. So here we have another cylinder going on. So I'm going to steal this one on the back because it's roughly the size, the same size. I'm going to put that on the front here. So that's looking good. So it's yeah, some corner, I would say, some corridors here. Then we have another one, so I'm going to steal this here, putting here. And now we have to decide how we can just make the main part of this object. So first of all, I'm going to add a cube here. So we can just take that and put it here on the side. Add a mirror modifier because it's going a little bit outside. I think that's the right size. Maybe we can just make it a little bit bigger, but with this here we're going just in this area here. So we have some connecting parts here. So maybe we're going a little bit more. So like that. Make it a little bit bigger on the y-axis, and now we can just select these two parts here, these two edges, and just round them up with 8 segments maybe, just to make it really round here. So like that, shade it smooth obviously, and add the, where is it, smooth by angle. So that's looking fine so far. On the front here we have some type of, I don't really know, I think it's a turbine or something like that going on, or something like some else, some other stuff is going on here. So we can just steal another thing on the back. So we're going to steal this too. So select all, duplicate that, put it on the front. That's fine. I'm going to just separate by selection, so we have a known selection of it on the front. So then I'm going to select both of them, and we're going to put them roughly in the place where it has to be. So here's looking fine, maybe a little bit more. Let's see. Going to put them a little bit more in the front, like that. Take the back of that. And we're going back here. So for now I'm just comparing the reference with my actual model here. So I'm doing this, yeah, some rough detailing here. So maybe we can just go a little bit down inwards like that with this here. That's fine. So we need here a space in the middle. So I'm going just to, yeah, do it like that. Mark it sharp, so we have here some sharp edges. I'm going to steal here this face. I'll go back to global, so we can just make a known separation of that because we're just going to need another one. So just pull that back, select all. Recalculate outside, and with that I'm going just to rotate that by 90 degrees. Select all, put it inside of here because we have some details going on. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky, but just select the part here. We can go up with the part low, we can go down, so like that. Select all, put it here maybe. Make sure you don't intersecting with the object here. Then you're totally fine. Let's see, maybe if we are going to rotate that a little bit more. So we have just to mask this area a little bit. It's not too obvious that's floating around, but it's looking fine for now.